Ooh, okay.
Let people come in.
Can I change my name? How do I change my name?
Um,
I don't know how to do that.
what do you
It
want
doesn't
to change
matter.
it to?
Nah, it
change
can't be
for you.
something that long. I was gonna change it to like if you think the team's better than Jalen Johnson, then you're dumb. I was gonna change it to something like that.
Oh,
But that's too many. That's too many
late.
characters.
Too late now.
It is. It is. It's all
What's
good.
good, everybody? Oh man, we got a positive one coming today. Come on,
Man, we finally got
come
one.
on. We finally can rejoice together. It's the first time all year we could do that. Let me share this quickly. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. You know what it is.
I think he's a great player. I mean,
Miles Turner didn't go to Duke. Did that hurt Duke?
Yes. No.
He won a championship.
W's in the chat, everybody. I need the W's in the chat. Just put the W's in the chat. Duke, we're back. We are back, baby. That was the best performance we've seen all season. We are, yeah. Put them W's in the chat. Oh man, they're spamming. They're coming through. They're coming through. Yeah. There we go. There we go. There we go. Finally, man. Finally. As you know, I'm Zion. Of course. We got Ryan here. DD Nation got 2 new guests today. Shout out, we got Duke Better. You known as Duke Better. Name is Russ, but known as Duke Better, you know. Great Twitter guy here for Duke. And they've got my guy Derick. You've seen him before. He's back. We're gonna break down this win today. Fellas, we gotta win. What's your thoughts? We gotta win. We finally gotta win.
We haven't seen any of the Jalen Johnson chat yet.
God!
You want
to
to start negative, man? Why
Could
you
have waited
gotta,
like 5
we're just
minutes
trying to
for that.
celebrate this.
Ryan. Come
Like,
on,
No,
man.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been a fan that's jumped in yet and tried to get us going already. And I'm not going to be the one to say it, but
positive. Not yet. Not
there's no.
yet.
There's still positivity behind that.
That's a negative.
There's still positivity behind it.
That's
I was
a
just
negative,
surprised. I'm surprised we've gone 2 minutes or 3 minutes of being live without somebody making that absurd comment.
Man.
I'm not saying I believe it. I'm
No,
just saying I'm surprised no one said it yet.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it for a second.
No.
right?
Let's first get your positive observations for the
All right,
game.
positive,
then we're gonna hop into that. So
It's all positive.
We'll start with you, Russ. Start us off. What do you think after the win?
I mean, the biggest thing that I take away from this, a couple things really. College Jeremy Roach is starting to look like high school Jeremy Roach. I thought coming into the season that he was a real sort of under the radar one and done prospect. While I don't know if he's like flashy enough to do that the way he's played so far, the last 2 games have been a lot more of what we expected, or at least what people who watched him in high school expected coming in. And I think that changes the game for Duke entirely. I mean, I think if he played more against Illinois, or if we didn't start with that lineup, maybe things go a little bit differently. Obviously, he was very in control. He's not sped up at all. I think the game is coming to DJ Stewart. The speed of the game is not affecting Roach or Stewart as much as it did in those first couple of games. I think those are huge. Matt Hurt's fadeaways are unguardable. Just absolutely unguardable right now, which is great. Every time he misses, I assume it's because he didn't fade away. And then obviously Jamin Brakefield, we've talked about that a bunch. I just tweeted before we started here. I heard from a lot of scouts or whatever that he was sort of an Emile Jefferson type. He's a Shane Battier type. I think we need to start talking about that.
That's
okay.
That's high praise.
And it is high praise, but think about Shane's first few games, right? Even before he maybe necessarily was the Shane Battier college basketball Hall of Famer type, right? He had the high IQ. He had the energy. He took the charges. He made buckets. Jamin brings those things right away. I know there's at least one other person in this chat who feels very strongly that he should be a starter. I'm inclined to agree with that. He just brings so much to the table every time he's in the game.
That's interesting. Go ahead, Derek. What you taking away from this game?
I mean, first of all, Duke finally got another win. We needed that so bad. So just to see these freshmen just take another big step, I feel like some people forget that these guys are 18, 19, just got out of high school a couple months ago. And, it takes some time to adjust. So, I'm looking at Roach. He had a great game. Duke only can go as far as Jeremy Roach is. If Jeremy Roach doesn't play well, Duke is not going to be a good team this year. But, to really see him step up, Brakefield, again, bringing that energy. What did he have? 10 points tonight? Just another great game from him. It was just a good all-around game. I really think Duke could have won that game by 20 to 25 points if they had stopped Dane Goodwin. But, besides that, just a solid all-around game. Matthew Hurt, fadeaway, absolutely unguardable. I like the Patrick Space starting tonight. 9 minutes, nothing too crazy, but he did give us a solid defensive presence. He's not going to stuff the stat sheets by any means, but he is a high IQ player. So, just a great game from Duke all around. They also ran a good offensive sets throughout the game. Just love what I saw tonight.
The offense was flowing to at least definitely to start the game. The offense, I was so happy to see a competent offense tonight. Oh my goodness, Duke! I've been waiting, man. And number one, like someone said, I gotta scroll up and find these comments. Hold on.
I heard somebody say after the Illinois game that this was the worst offensive team in Duke history or something on this chat. I forget who that was. I forget who that was.
All right, let me take this. Let me take this screen since you want to go there. Let me take. Yes, it's still the worst offensive team I've seen in Duke history. I'm not taking. Listen, they played great tonight, but they still haven't proved themselves yet. I mean, Notre Dame's not good. Let's call it is what it is. They're not a good team.
But they're not a bad team.
They're not a bad team. They're not. Like,
they're the first not bad team that we've beaten.
Okay, yeah, I can give you that. But let's take baby steps here. Let's take baby steps. Let's not just assume, okay, they're a great offense. Duke is a great offense team.
Didn't say that.
No, but they're getting there. Tonight was a great step to get where we want to go. And was it because, I guess we can hop into it now. Was it because Jalen was out the lineup? Oh, no. Before we hop into it, let me find that comment again.
Shout out Crash, by the way. I see you in the comments.
Brakefield needs at least 10 shots. I've been saying that for so long. We need this man to start, number one. I need to see him in the starting lineup. I don't care how you do it. Just put the man in the starting lineup. When I see Jamin Brakefield with the ball, the comfort I have, it's just, I know something is good.
Good things happen.
He plays like a veteran.
He makes it look super easy too. That's the thing. Like he looks like he could do more when he has the ball. It's almost like he makes it look lazy when it's not. Like everything he does is just super easy and super fluid. And I think that's the part that kind of makes him fun to watch. Is it's not like he's trying to do too much. And if he does make a play where he's trying to do too much, he doesn't make it look that way. He disguises it pretty well. Just a very in control, high IQ kind of player. And then he brings the energy that I've been talking about. By the way, Zon, you didn't let me give me any positives to start this show tonight.
I thought you already talked. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
No, my Jalen comment wasn't that I believe in that. It was just I was surprised that we haven't seen it yet. But no, I think it was more so going off of DJ Stewart's performance. I thought that was pretty impressive. And the one thing that I think is proven true this year with Stewart is that he needs to get going early, or at least he can't start slow and pick it up. He's kind of a guy who just feeds off of the shots when they fall. So when he gets going early, it's a good sign for Duke. And the last couple games, the game against Michigan State and the game against Illinois, that didn't happen. So I'm looking forward to seeing that happen a little bit more. And then Hurt's just been doing what he's been doing all year and what we hope he would provide coming in. That fadeaway, I've tweeted about it multiple times, is awesome to watch. No one can stop it. You guys already talked about it. And then the confidence and the energy that he's providing as well. Like he's yelling and shouting and stuff. That's not Matt Hurt that we saw last year. So a lot of fun to watch there. Yeah, you can take it, Zion.
We haven't talked about Goldwire at all either. I mean, I see here he led in plus minus tonight, and honestly, that's not terribly surprising. Defensively, he was really disruptive. Even though he only had one steal, I felt like he had several deflections. He was just up in Prentice Hub's face. He also made a couple of really nifty offensive plays that, again, I during the summer, I had so many people in my comments trolling me about how Goldwire was terrible on offense or whatever. But, last year's numbers, I mean, the team was better with him on the floor offensively, even if he missed the odd layup and what have you, because he sort of knows how to play within himself. And that's something that's really so important within the team construct. And I think that still carries over today. Goldwire never is chucking up shots. He's never getting out of line, right? He picks his spots pretty well. Maybe he tosses up one bad shot a game. Mostly he's taking open shots or doing things that he needs to do. I love Goldwire.
Yeah, the thing about Brakefield, everybody keeps screaming for 10 shots, 12 shots a game. I'm not sure. I'm not saying it'd be a bad thing if he got that, but I'm not sure it's necessary even. Because I feel like a lot of shots he's getting are quality shots. He's not forcing many as well.
I need him to be more aggressive in the post especially. There are so many times where he catches the ball in the post and he has a smaller defender on him and he's not even looking to shoot. If he takes more of those shots, I think his shots will automatically increase to like that 12-10 range.
Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not, like I said, I'm not agreeing with the fact that he needs we wouldn't benefit from him getting more shots. I'm just not sure right now it's 100% necessary. I don't think he couldn't. I don't think he shouldn't get there. I'm just saying it's not 100% necessary. He's getting what 8, 9, 10, 12 points a game, if not more, taking the under 10 shots. And yeah, obviously his points probably go up the more he shoots. But he's a smart player. I think he's doing what he feels best right now. And if he wanted to take those shots, I think he would.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot. I guess we gotta just jump into it. We'll get to the Jalen offense part, but yeah, what does the team need to do with Wendell Moore? I don't, Derick, what you think, bro?
I mean, I will say I'll start with some positives for Wendell. There were a couple defensive possessions that in the interior, there were definitely some good defensive plays. In the second half, though, there was one sequence that I really thought about, and it was when he turned the ball over. I think he was maybe trying to pass the ball to Matt. Then he fell asleep and gave up a three right on the other end. He had a couple shots. Well, he only took 2 shots, but he had a shot that looked like it was going to go in, still didn't roll out. I mean, I don't really know what exactly Duke can do with him right now besides just let him try to earn it on defense, and hopefully that turns it around for him offensively.
Update, behave.
I think I'll give a quick comment and then Russ, you can go. But I think the biggest thing right now is Coach K just still letting him do his thing. And I think Coach still believes in him and the staff still believes in him. And he's just got to get out of this slump himself. I'm not sure there's much the coaching staff can do or not do that's going to prevent him from making a comeback this season. And we're only, 5 games in, so there's a long ways to go. But it's not like I don't think Coach K is dogging him and now benching him for a majority of the game. He's still getting – what did he get? How many points or how many minutes did he get tonight?
I mean, he only got 9.
He got 9 tonight. Well, I saw more of him in the second half when I started watching the games. That's all I can really take from it. But I still think they're allowing him to try to create offense, but it's not going his way right now. And I'm still concerned with the team's sake if he continues down this road. I'm not sure you're gonna. I hope I can believe and we can believe in Stewart leading us with 16, 17, 18 points a game, but we haven't seen it up until tonight. So I think this team still, the success of this team could ride on if Moore turns it around or not.
I definitely think that we need Wendell Moore to be good in order to be a real contender on a national level. I think that goes without saying. And so I definitely think that they're going to let him play this thing through. And again, I think that's the smart thing to do. As has already been mentioned, he's got to start on defense. I mean, that was the main reason why Jack White kept getting in during his slump, is because you could always at least count on him to be trying consistently on defense, fighting for rebounds, doing those things. And in the Illinois game, that's what got me all sassy in the comments in the post game here, was because every time he would screw up, he would walk back on the transition opportunity. He was not playing hard Duke defense, and that just killed me. Made me want to toss my laptop out the window. Today, he was doing a great job rotating over to help on the interior when we were playing sort of the smaller ball with Hurt at the 5, and they had Durham in there. I thought that was great, and I honestly thought that his 2 shots that he took and he missed, I thought they were both pretty good looks. Neither of them was wild. Neither of them was threes. Neither of them looked like something that we thought he couldn't make. And I think both of them kind of rimmed in and out a little bit. Like neither of them looked really bad. So, I mean, I think that's got to be disheartening for him. But at the same time, you've also just got to be telling yourself, if you're him and if you're the coaching staff talking to him, look how you're doing the right things here. I mean, like outside of the turnovers where he was pushing the issue early, I think he was more or less doing the right thing for most of his minutes in there. He's just got to keep playing hard-nosed defense, keep looking for shots that come to him naturally, not forcing the issue. And if he does that, I definitely think he'll turn it around. He's got to see the ball go in the basket.
Yeah, the guy. Somebody made a good comment. Cone217 a few minutes ago said that he needs that break and to clear his head. And I think more if he comes back after the break and still performs this way, I'll be definitely still concerned, but I think this break could help him a lot, and we'll benefit from that, and hopefully Jalen Johnson too.
Shout out to Scott. Yes, if Trey Jones is in the audience again tonight, please say something in the comments, Trey.
Trey Jones.
They are here for you. Waddell needs 30 minutes a game. I don't know.
Jackson's trolling. He's just doing it to get me
30
going.
minutes where? He's a guy that definitely needs to play, but we also can't do the opposite thing, right? We can't just like let him play through it entirely, because then that's going to get him worse into his head. Like if he knows that he's screwing up out there, I mean, like I've been there when I've been playing, like, when it's not going well and it's hard to get out of that, but like you need short bursts to get out of that. You cannot just play 20, 30 minutes and just keep seeing the ball not go in. That's not good for your mental state at all.
Yeah.
If he can just get one bucket, man,
I agree.
He
just one. If he can just get one, I think I saw somebody say that he was maybe like 1 for his last 21.
Yeah.
If he can just get one, that's all we need.
Connor, I would say Joey Baker played one of his better games today. He didn't really falter. He played his role and played the background and the team won. So that's all that matters. But okay, now let's get into it. Jalen Johnson, obviously, if you haven't not been on Twitter or you just weren't watching the game, Jalen Johnson is out 2 to 3 weeks, supposedly with a foot injury. And we do not know if he suffered that last game or during practice. But yeah, Jalen Johnson is out. And Duke happened to play their best offensive game with Jalen Johnson out.
I don't like the framing. I don't like the framing.
I'm not saying it.
It seemed a little framing.
I am not saying it. That's what people are going to say. I don't agree with that.
Hey, we haven't seen it yet in the comments, so I don't know.
There've been a couple.
I've seen it in the comments.
There's been a couple.
Okay, all right. I guess I wasn't paying attention enough. I don't know if you can say that they're a better offensive team without Jalen on the court. I'm not sure you take their. You can't even call him their best scorer because Matt Hurt's their best scorer. I don't think you can take their second best scorer. I think it's a matter of the dynamic between Hurt and Johnson on the court at the same time. I think that's the biggest. I don't know if you say issue, but the issue with this team offensively is Jalen has to play, or Jalen and Hurt both have to play the 4 in order for them to be successful. And I think Hurt's playing the 4 much better than Jalen is. And now Hurt, with the spacing with Brakefield on the floor tonight, was able to go to town and do his thing in the post with the fadeaways and the step backs and all of that. So I think that's where the problem still lies, is between those two being on the floor at the same time. If they can figure that out when or if he ever returns, I think the team will be pretty dangerous. But I still don't think. I think, if they can figure it out with those two on the floor at the same time, it'll be a really fun team to watch. But until then, Matthew Hurt, I think, is a more powerful weapon without Jalen Johnson on the floor. And I think there's times where Johnson was on the bench in the last few games where that showed.
I will say, shout out Connor and shout out my guy Justin. I will say people are right here in the comments that there was better spacing tonight.
Yeah.
There was better spacing, and it did affect Roach. Roach played fantastic. That's the Roach I expected.
One more thing on that quick, and then I'll let you guys talk. Sorry. The thing about the spacing, though, is there could have been a game plan in place that would have allowed for, even if Johnson was playing, the game plan or the execution could have been the same with Johnson on the floor or not. Not saying that's 100% certain, but the game plan and the matchups could have been in Duke's favor to allow the spacing and the ball movement to become better than what it was in the past few games. But it definitely was better.
It helps when you're playing Notre Dame, who's sort of famously not very good at defense.
Exactly.
You're gonna get spacing when you're going up against a bunch of marginally athletic racist haircuts. Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Like. Ryan was touching on this, and I think that this is a really good point, and I don't think it's bad for the future of Johnson coming back. Hurt did well at the 5 tonight. Let's also call it what it is. When he was in at the 5, he did very well. When Durham was in there and Hurt was in there at the 5, they would bring over some help if the rotations made it so that Durham was on Goldwire or somebody else inside. They did a really, really nice job with that. So, I continue to think that both Hurt and Johnson can play the 4 or the 5, but obviously neither of them can play the 3. And their games are pretty similar in the sense that if one of them is at the 5, they're going to do better with a sort of more athletic, more dynamic, more energy guy 4 who can shoot like Brakefield. And if they're at the 4, they're going to play better with a true rim protecting sort of big at the 5. So it's not that either of them can't do either thing. I think they can. I just think that both of them have the skill set that mandates that they really shouldn't be on the floor together at the same time very much. That said, the team is still clearly better with, like I said on Twitter, if you start tweeting out Johnson theory or anything like that, you are mining for clout or you are dumb. Like those are the only possible explanations there. I can't be here for that because you can't have a guy that talented. Like worst case scenario, as I was tweeting also, platoon it. Bring in Hurt, then bring in Johnson. Let them rotate a little bit. Let them do short bursts together. Right, where you're not going to play them together for long stretches. Let some of them work and some of them work like there's so much. One of the best things about this roster is we do have multiple bigs. We have multiple guards. Like Brakefield is really the only sort of jackknife guy. Moore, I guess, technically could be that if he was playing well, but like we've got some versatility options there. And there was at least one point in the game where they switched out everyone that wasn't Roach. And they did more or less an entire lineup change in one substitution. So I do think we can do that a little bit more, and the team is going to be clearly better if we've got more talent on the bench.
I will say, though, like with Jalen, obviously the offense was better tonight. We just got to figure out how to use him better. Obviously, like Jalen does not at the 3, like we've said this on. Well, I've said so many times at the 3 is just not going to work offensively because he can't shoot, and because even using him as a post up option kind of limits Matthew Hurt, because
for sure
Matt Hurt just sits on the perimeter and then becomes a jump shooter instead of being able to use him like you used tonight, inside, outside, mid range. Like Matt Hurt, we got to give Matt Hurt his respect. That's one thing we haven't gave Matt Hurt his respect this season. He's balled out this year, and I think he's done his job of what we expected him to do. Maybe not defensively, but like we didn't really expect him to be an all-world defender.
He's a much better defender this year than he was last year too. He's moving his feet so much better. There were a couple of possessions this game where he was caught out on the perimeter against Hub or against a faster guy, and he sort of stayed in their way. There was really only one time when he got super burned on the outside. Everything else, he kind of held his own.
Yeah, he's a good help-side shot blocker too. So
I think Matt Hurt definitely ACC Player of the Year, and he's going to be in the race. I think realistically, he should be in the race if Duke wins. Obviously, Duke has to win.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna address this because Tyrone keeps on the president Tyrone. I keep on seeing the comment. He keeps on typing it. So hold on, let me bring it up. He says Jalen is not coming back. Listen, I haven't heard anything so far. I'm gonna just be honest. I haven't heard anything so far. I'm just gonna be honest here. Do I see it as a possibility? Okay, let me not phrase it like that. what I
Now you're
what
being
I-
too PC, man. Just say that you think there's a chance it's true.
I mean,
Anything.
anybody could not come back.
Yeah, I would say
You know,
there's
it's
a
like-
sliver, small, tiny chance that it could be true. Would I put my money on it? No, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
put my money on
the
it.
way I was thinking the same thing, but the way they talked about it tonight on air, and the way apparently he's getting another MRI in a few weeks to reevaluate. And they're saying that's in 3 weeks. I don't know. I feel like that's a little. They're being more specific now than they were with just a tweet saying he's got a foot injury, he's out indefinitely. Like that was super sketchy. But now that they've said he's going to have an MRI when he gets back, and all of that, I'm not as skeptical as I was before the tonight's game. But there's always that chance, man. You have a couple not so great games against good competition. Yeah, you never know.
Like before, like Ryan said, before this game and before I got all the details, I would have leaned a little bit more toward that rumor for sure. But now that we kind of have the details of like he's being reevaluated, he's getting an MRI, I think it's kind of like he's actually hurt. But you know.
Plus, I mean, a big reason why people come to Duke is for the brand, right? Like, it's not just for the winning; it's for the brand. I mean, we can just say what it is. And so, if one of the big things that Duke fans still love about Zion in a huge way, and what UNC fans love about Cole Anthony, what a lot of players get a lot of love from the core of their fan bases, is that idea of they did not just hang it up, right? And I'm not saying he needs to play. If he's hurt, then he should protect himself and he should protect his draft stock and he should not come back. That goes without saying. If it's an injury, then it is what it is. But I think that so often, and this just goes back to the idea that Duke fans overreact immediately whenever we face any adversity. We lost 2 of our first 4 games to top 20 teams that were far more experienced than we are and that have really good coaches. I mean, like, that can happen. Like, you know, it's so hard. I had multiple people tell me this is like going to be the worst Duke team in K's tenure or whatever. And it's, how can you tell that from such a small sample size? Like, we're so spoiled by not losing ever that when a couple of losses that are reasonable losses happen, immediately it's like shit hits the fan and we're like, oh God, the sky is falling. Like, just take a breath and realize these kids need to grow a little bit. And by January, they might, like, people forget how not good Jason Tatum was at the beginning of his time at Duke. Like, people forget sometimes some of
They
these
slandered
kids.
him. They killed him.
Yeah.
Trey Jones Tyus Jones for stretches of ACC play was not good, straight up. He went through the freshman issues. I mean, like, that happens to everyone to some extent. And we've got a young team. So, I mean, that's going to happen, and Duke fans need to chill if they are overreacting about that. They need to take a deep breath. Or they need to bet me $500 about their claim, like those punks on Twitter who were saying this would be the worst team they've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
$500.
not saying you're wrong. I'm not arguing with the fact that there is an overreaction, and I definitely fell into that category. But I think it's the eye test as well. Like, Duke teams in the past against teams like that didn't look that bad, and there was obviously things that we could look for that were like, all right, that part of the game they weren't that. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember a team losing that or looking that poorly against 2 teams that are Final Four contending teams. And if you want to be a Final Four contending team, you have to put up a better fight against teams like that. Granted, like we all said, kind of a long season this year, weird year, no fans. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's as far of an overreaction as we think it is. And I'm not saying, and I don't think we should be taking this Notre Dame game as everything's turned around and everything's red roses. But there are still concerns with this team. I mean, if Stewart doesn't show up tonight and the way he hadn't been showing up against the better teams, this is a completely different game. Obviously, you can say that about any game if any player doesn't show up, but there's still concerns about these players showing up in big games. And we'll see. I don't know when their next big game technically is. They play Florida State next, I believe, and I don't know where we go from there. I don't have the schedule pulled up.
When is that game?
January 2nd, I think.
January. Yeah.
That's gonna be
that's going to be tough. I mean, like, we're going to incur some losses this year. That Athletic article with the quotes from Matt Hurt's dad, I thought was really revealing. In which they said, you know, our off season was abbreviated even by COVID standards. Like other teams started to get to work earlier even than we did because of the precautions that we were taking and what have you. Again, these aren't excuses. They're just practical realities. Young teams need to play a lot. They need to play together a lot. We probably needed games against Cupcakes a lot to sort of figure out some of these things. We're not going to have those. So I do think the loss total is probably going to be higher than certainly we would have expected coming into this season. But I also think that the team can still find a way to get through those losses and be strong by February and March, as long as, again, fans aren't immediately saying that so-and-so is trash or so-and-so makes the team worse or Coach K needs to whatever,
Yeah. So we got like 5 minutes. Go ahead. Not 5 minutes. We got like probably 3 minutes. Go ahead, Derick.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think we have to kind of find like some middle ground because is this Duke team as bad as Kentucky looks right now?
No,
not at all. Not at all. But are we like right now, could you say Duke is a Final Four team? No. But really young team, there's a lot of talent. I just got to find some middle ground, man. Young teams lose games, and we just got to figure that out.
Yeah, and I think we also, my takeaways, we need to start Jalen Brakefield. I'm going to keep on saying it. I'm going to keep on saying it until it happens.
I think there's a reason he's not starting, and I think it's a good one. But I'll let you stand.
No. What's the reason?
Have you put him in your bio yet, or your name yet?
Nah. No team, no player from this team is getting stand, bro. Not yet. Not yet.
All right.
But what's the reason he's not starting?
I think because he's just instant offense off the bench right away. I think
instant offense in the starting lineup too.
We thought DJ Stewart would be too right after that 20-some point game, and it didn't work out that way either. So I'm not saying don't start him. I just think I think there's a reason that he hasn't started yet. Patrick Tapey got to start. And
my argument to Stewart is Jalen Brakewood has shown it every single game. Pretty much every.
I'm not disagreeing with you that he shouldn't start. I just think that there's a reason they're keeping him from starting for most of these games. I'm not saying he shouldn't start. I think he should start, but that conversation has to be played out between the staff and him as well. Like that instant offense he's providing off the bench has been a spark all year long. So I'm not saying don't start him. I think they should, but there's got to be a reason why they're not. So
yeah, to Zion's point, there's also clearly this is now the second game in a row where we faced a team that had a true big man, and the coaching staff's response was we're going to start a true big man. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, against Coburn in Illinois, that backfired tremendously. That goes without saying. In this game, I thought Tapey did fine at the beginning. Obviously, his plus minus numbers were pretty good. That first stretch did go fairly well, but the majority of the game we did end up sort of going smaller with Hurt as the quasi 5 and Brakefield as the quasi 4. There were only maybe half the game there was a real big man and maybe a little less. So I don't know why they think that starting big but then playing the rest of the game more small is the move necessarily, but it is clearly what they're hanging their hat on right now.
Carter, good question. How much? 1,000. At least.
I like the Adam Morrison picture also in the avatar there.
Give me 1,000, I'll become a Joey Baker stan. Wrapping up here. I did forget to mention. I did say this last week though. Ryan, I'm not tooting my own horn here, but.
Oh, you mean not like you haven't the last 33 minutes of the show?
No, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying. I told y'all when they left Cameron, it was going to be a different story, shooting wise and offense wise. I think that Cameron,
rim theory, hashtag rim theory.
Yes, rim theory at Cameron. They can't shoot at Cameron, so they need to go outside of Cameron to get some offense. Shout out to Duke Blogger. I see you, man.
They beat. I mean, all right, we'll leave it at that. We'll wait till
2-2. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir. But yeah, we're overtime again. I tried to keep it at 25. We just couldn't do it.
Just had to keep tooting your horn.
Nah. It was my fault.
Hey, Zion, I got one more question for you.
Go ahead.
How do you feel about this coach, Chase Lander?
How do I feel about what?
This coach, Chase Lander.
Oh, we didn't even get to the coach, Chase Lander, man. The coach, Nate Oates. Who are you? Nobody cares about you, bro. Did they lose? Alabama, did they lose their last game?
Oh, yeah.
They got
killed.
Nah, they beat Furman. They did. They won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I could have.
They lost to Clemson though.
Okay.
They beat Furman 83-80.
Nate Oates, bro.
I mean, Furman's good. to be fair.
Nah.
But
we're not going down that road.
I don't even care. Nate Oates, who are you? Stop talking. This is Coach K. This is the GOAT. Please put some respect on his name. We don't know who you are. Please do something besides win a tournament game. What did he do? He won a tournament game with Buffalo? Is that what he did?
Yeah, I think he went Sweet 16, but yeah.
That's cool, bro. But
yeah, and Update Duke nailed it too.
Yep.
Come on,
Coach
bro.
Capel came out and said that, which is funnier than hell.
There's levels to this. And
he just fell for the old ESPN okie doke because ESPN, spun what K said into K wants the season to be canceled or whatever. And so then all the media people are asking the coaches about that, and then they're hearing it and they're thinking, oh, that must be maybe that's what it was or whatever. And he's a young guy. He's fiery. He's trying to fire up his people. And he says some wild stuff he probably shouldn't have said. And then ESPN gets to report about that. And then Capel's asked about that. And then ESPN gets to report about, ESPN is just generating those clicks you wouldn't believe.
Listen, I'll say he did apologize. He only apologized because the NCAA probably knocked on his door and said, you can't do that. Don't come out the door. That's one thing. And that's one thing I'll leave y'all with. Do not use Coach K's name for clout.
Hey, Swag and the 865 has a point, though. We might want to.
Oh my gosh!
Oh Lord, we are out. After that, we're
I
out.
like Nate
We're
Oaks.
done. We're
That's a good tank right there, Nate Oaks.
We'll see y'all later, man. If we don't see y'all,
Good and
we don't
basic.
even have a game. We don't have a game. Happy holidays, man. Spend this time with your family. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all come New Year. I don't even know the next game. The schedule's all
It's like
messed
the
up.
29th, right?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
29th? Yeah. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year if we don't see you before that. We're ending on that note. We'll see y'all later.
See you guys.